In this video, I will be showing how I installed this custom-made trim around my living room door. After I replaced the previous hollow core door with a solid 6-panel one, here's what we had to work with. I live in a house that was constructed almost 100 years ago. About half of the walls are still lath and plaster, so they are a little thicker than normal. Therefore, the jamb on the stock door isn't as deep as I need, so there's a large gap between where it stops and the surface of the wall. Unfortunately, I didn't film all of this, but I measured and then ripped a piece of oak board, then applied some glue to it and secured it with clamps until it was dried. I did this on both sides of the door. Next, I'm going to install the plinth blocks. These were something I made by cutting 1/2 inch and 3/4 inch MDF and then gluing them together. After that, I used the router to add a rounded edge to them. I made these a while ago, so they were ready to go. When I make some more, I will create a short video on how I did it and place a video suggestion pop-up here. For the side trim pieces, I am using 5-inch strips of 3/4 inch MDF that I ripped previously. After cutting those to length, I used the router to round over both edges and then sand them. Next, I applied 1 coat of primer and then 2 coats of paint, lightly sanding between each coat with 220 grit sandpaper. After the final coat of paint has dried, it's time to install them. I'm using 1 1/2 inch brad nails to attach them to the wall. The header is comprised of 3 pieces: a 2-inch strip of 1/2 inch MDF at the bottom, a 3/4 inch piece in the middle, and then another 2-inch 3/4 inch strip of MDF at the top. The top and bottom strips are 1.5 inches longer than the middle piece, which is just as long as the outside edge-to-edge measurement of the side trim pieces. Now, when I did this in my bedroom for the middle piece, I went with the same 5-inch width used on the sides, but here in the living room I went bigger to account for the excessive opening, as I didn't want to try to add plaster. It's a shortcut, but I'm very happy with the end look. Now for the 2-inch strips, I used the router to round off both sides of one of the edges. Next, we once again apply a coat of primer, followed by 2 coats of paint, again sanding between each coat with 220 grit sandpaper. Now to assemble the header before installation. I used parallel clamps to hold everything together, making sure the top and bottom strips had the same offset on both sides of the centerpiece. Then I attached them together using brad nails. Before installing the header, I used some scrap OSB to fill in the void. The final step is to put up the header. I made sure the overhangs were the same on both sides before securing with more brad nails. And there we have it, one custom trimmed door using inexpensive MDF. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up and share it with others. If you've not already subscribed to the channel, please do so, and I will see you next time.